everyone, how you doing? And I know what you're thinking. That's not Wonder Whoamom, and you're right. I'm actually Man Joe, Wonder Whoamom's husband. But I'm the gadget person in the house, so we thought it'd be more appropriate for me to make this video today. And what I'm going to do is review the new Keurig 2.0 machine. This is a brand new Keurig that just come out. I'm going to go over all the different features with it, what I like, what I don't, and at the end of the video, I'll actually go over a little workaround for what people's biggest complaint with this new machine is. So let's get into the actual features of the machine. Now, before I actually get into the features of the new Keurig 2.0, I was thinking this probably wouldn't be a proper Wonder Whoamom video if I didn't talk about how you could save some money. And since our family is all about using coupons, being thrifty, and making our dollar go the furthest, I really wanted to share with you where I was able to find the best price for this unit. Now, there are three different versions of the Keurig 2.0. There's the 350, the 450, and the 550. This is the 550 unit. It's got the most features, which we'll get into a little bit later on. But this unit actually retails on the Bed Bath & Beyond website and the Keurig website for $199. Now, what you get with that is the machine itself, a water filter, a K-Craft, which is the biggest feature that they're adding onto the unit is. They also give you 4 K-Craft cups to be able to make 4 of these, and 6 K-Cups to make 6 cups of coffee. And again, that's $199.99. But we were actually to get the unit at Costco for $149.99. And with that, you're still getting the water filter, you're still getting the K-Craft, they're still giving you the 4 K-Craft cups, but in addition, they're giving you 48 more cups of coffee. They give you 4 different boxes of different blends. One is a variety pack, one is the Newman's Extra Bold, one is the breakfast blend, and the last one is the donut chop coffee. And they're selling it again for $149.99. So if you were to go buy all of this on the Keurig website, you'd spend $230 plus shipping. So you're able to save $80 if you purchase it at Costco, get a lot more coffee, and have a great unit to top it off. So with that, let's get into the actual features of the unit, and I'll also discuss why I decided to get this unit. Now, one of the cool things I like about the new 2.0 is the ease of the menu button. So let's go over exactly how to set the machine up. Now, I've actually turned it on and preheated it to make it a little bit quicker, but when you first get it, you're just going to press that little power button, and you'll get your Keurig logo, and it will usually preheat, but like I said, I've already preheated it. And you're going to get a flashing clock. It does still have a clock. You hit this little I button up on top. You could set your language. You can set your clock. We'll go to time, and it is 1:15. So very easy to just change everything. No scrolling through and hitting buttons over and over again. You hit the save button. Then they have a display button, and you can choose whether you want it to look analog or digital. We're going to leave it on digital. We'll hit the save, the arrow button back, and then they also have a wallpaper. And what the wallpaper is you can change the color of this screen, and they have all different colors. We'll choose the red and hit save. Then we'll hit the arrow button back. Now, they also have an auto on, auto off feature, so you can tell it to turn on at a certain time. So let's hit enable, and I want it to turn on at 6 a.m. every day. And then you can also do the same thing if you want it to turn off at a certain time. They also have an energy saver feature, so you can tell it to say turn off after an hour and a half or whatever you want it to be. We'll hit save. Then we'll hit the arrow back. Then they have another menu button for lighting, and the lighting is a really cool thing. And what they do is you can choose a light for the reservoir, which is down here on the side, and now you can see there's a green light. So when it's dark in the room, all of the water is lit up to whatever color you choose. I happen to like that green. They also have a night light that you can turn on and turn off. So at night, if you don't have the machine on, you can actually have it as a night light in your kitchen, which we personally don't need. And they have a high altitude. They do have a water filter reminder to remind you to change your water filter. We'll put that on. And then that's for restoring the factory settings. So now when we go back to our main menu, you'll see I have a nice red screen with the clock, and we're all ready to go. Now, one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to purchase this machine is because we actually had a Keurig View machine. Years ago, we had a standard Keurig machine, and we had some problems with it after a lot of use. So we stepped up to the new View machine, which used a different type of cup. And the reason I really liked these was because it allowed me to have a stronger cup of coffee. The problem with the View machine was you could not use the standard K-Cups. And the View cups are much harder to find. They also cost a little bit more money, but they make a bigger cup of coffee. Well, the new 2.0 has actually solved that, because the 2.0 takes the standard K-Cups, it does take the View cups, and they also have these new larger ones, which are to make a carafe, which makes 4 to 6 cups of coffee depending on which size you're going to use. Now, the problem is what happened was Keurig actually had their patent expire on their K-Cups, and it opened up the market to a lot of companies making basically imitation K-Cups. So what the View does now, if you look on this K-Cup, you're going to see a thing of writing around the outside. And what they've done is it's a special ink. And the machine actually reads for that ink, and if it doesn't have it, it's going to reject the K-Cup. So they're making it so that you can only put authorized K-Cups in there. Now, that is people's biggest complaint that I'm reading on the internet with this machine, is they can't use old K-Cups. And I have a workaround, which I'll show you in a little bit. The other problem is that you cannot use my K-Cups anymore. Because again, it's not reading for that ink, but we have a solution for that. But I love the fact that I can use K-Cups, I can use Keurig View cups, and I can also make a big giant craft if I want. So let's actually show you how we can brew a cup of coffee and the different features it has. Now, one of the things that Keurig has tried to do is simplify everything. They've tried to make it so that anybody can make a cup of coffee, and it's a smarter machine. It actually knows what type of cups you're putting in there, and it knows what sizes that go appropriately with that particular K-Cup. So if we want to make a cup of coffee, all we do is open it up, we drop our K-Cup inside, and close it up. And then on the screen, it'll tell you everything that you need to do. And you'll see that flashing button because it's already ready to brew. But there are some options. The default setting is actually 8 ounces, but you can bring that up to 10 ounces, or you can lower it down to either 4 or 6 by one press of a button. Now, with a standard K-Cup, they don't actually allow you to make larger than 10 ounces because that is what's appropriate for a standard K-Cup. But the easiest workaround is make a 10-ounce cup of coffee and then open it up, close it back, and brew another 4 ounces in. Now, one of the problems is that makes it a little bit weaker cup of coffee. Now, one of the reasons that I really like the View machine is it had an option on it for a stronger cup of coffee. And so what Keurig has done now is they've actually combined their original machine with the View. So you get the features of both machines and the ability to use both types of K-Cups. So right over here on the side, you'll see it says strong. So if I press that, it's now going to brew the coffee a little bit stronger. Now, it does add a few seconds onto the brewing time, but it's not that noticeable. And there's also a button for hot chocolate. So once you have your settings, you just hit the flashing button there on the bottom, and you can brew your cup of coffee. And again, Whoamom likes very strong cups of coffee, and she likes to drink a lot more than 10 ounces. So what I would do is put it on 10 ounces, brew it strong, and then open the machine up, close it back up, and brew another 4 ounces with the same K-Cup. Now let's talk about the View cups and the craft cups. Now when you buy a View cup, you may notice there is a number here on the bottom. It says 4. Makes Keurig 2.0 4 setting. Now, when you buy your K-Cups, this machine will use all the new K-Cups. Basically, any K-Cups that were made after January of 2014, the machine will be able to read. And what it's looking for in a View cup is this little green dot. That's how it knows it's a View cup. And when you put it in the machine, what you need to do is there's a little switch right here. You need to just pull this switch down and then drop your View cup or your craft cup in. And when you close it, they're going to give you a little menu. Now, if you remember, that said 4 on it. Now, if I hit this one button right here, it's going to try to make a craft. It'll make 4 cups, which we're obviously not going to do. If you put it on the 2, that is actually their travel mug size, and you can choose between 14 and 16 ounces, and you also have the option for strong. They also have a little heart button here. If you press that, it will actually let you save it as a favorite setting. Okay. Now, if you go up and you hit the 3 button, it's got 14 or 16, and that is if you want to brew an iced coffee or, you know, any of the iced teas where they say brew over ice. Now, 4 was the actual setting that we chose, that it recommended, and again, because it's a single cup, it's recommending 8 ounces, 10 ounces, 4 ounces, or 6 ounces. But again, because my wife happens to like a larger cup, I would generally just go back and use the 2 and put it on 14 ounces with strong setting. Now, the other thing that I really liked about the View machine is that the View allowed you to make this really cool thing in a 2-step process of a latte. And that is actually still on this machine. If we put it up to 5, you'll see step 1 froth, and you would put your frothing cup like this in. It'll brew your froth, and then after you're done, it'll actually brew your cup of coffee for you. And the last one is 6, and that's just another setting for cups of coffee of 6 ounces, 8 ounces, or 10 ounces. And that's how we use the View cups and the craft cups. Now, another cool feature they've got on this is a hot water dispenser, and that's exclusive to the 550 unit. And basically, all you have to do is press this little hot water button, and then it's going to tell you to lift the handle, remove any pack you have in there, and lower the handle. Now, we don't have a pack in there. We're going to lift it up. We'll lower it back down. And now it's going to say, brewer will dispense up to 6 ounces of hot water. Press and hold the brew button. Now, the one thing I don't like about this, and I will show you this little flashing brew button, is in order to get the hot water, you do need to keep your finger on this button. And all you're going to do is press the button and hold it. And the screen actually says, dispensing hot, do not lift. And so long as I hold my button here, it's going to give me my hot water. Now, in the old machines, what you would have to do is actually put an empty K-cup in there or not have one at all, and you'd get the hot water. This one, you're going to press the button, because one of the things they've done with this is they've made it so that you can't use non-K-cup machines, which is people's biggest complaint. Now, if I want more, all I got to do is lift it again and then press the button. Now let's talk about what people's biggest complaint with this unit is and a good workaround for it. And as I said earlier, Keurig has actually put a special ink around the edge of the K-cups, and on the View cups, it's this little dot. So when you buy your K-cups, you want to make sure that you buy newer K-cup from the store that has that. And pretty much anything made after January, like I said, has that. But if you're like us and you're maybe a stockpiler or have some old ones sitting around that were made, you know, in December or January and they didn't have the new writing, you're not going to be able to use them on the new machine. And that's because if you look on, for example, this one, it doesn't have that special ink. It's not going to be able to read it. So if we go ahead and put this one in the unit, you'll see what happens is you're going to get an error message. And it says, oops, this pack wasn't designed for this brewer. But I have a workaround for you. Okay, all you need to do is after you brew one of your K-cups, simply cut the top off of it. Okay, take a razor knife and just very carefully run it around the edge. Cut the top off, and then all you have to do is basically put it across the top here. Okay, then just take a rubber band, or you can use glue, but a rubber band would be much faster, and put it on to hold the top. Then go drop it in your machine. Once I drop it in my machine, now you're going to see it's ready to brew my iced tea or coffee or anything like that. The same thing's going to go for your View cups. If you have your View cup, the Views were made so that you can actually take them and throw them out. So what you do is take this little piece, peel it back, cut off the coffee pod, and you have your little foil wrapper. Then simply put it on here and take your rubber band and rubber band it around. And we'll actually go ahead and brew this because this is my favorite feature from the View. And again, remember what I said, you have to take this, drop it in, put it down. Now this is the pumpkin spice latte. So if you remember, the latte feature was 5. And it says step 1 froth. We've already put it in there. So now we're going to hit our button. And you'll see what it's going to do is it's going to make me a milk froth from the step 1 cup for the Views. And again, that was one of the best features I liked about the Views, and I really didn't want to lose it, but I wanted to be able to go back to using standard K-cups as well. Now once this is done, we're going to simply pull that out and put in the step 2 cup. Okay, so now that the froth is done, and you'll see on this says step 2. And again, these just happen to be older cups. And it says, am I just frothing on the screen, or do I want to continue to step 2? And obviously I want to continue on to step 2. So I'm going to type continue, and it's going to say on there, lift to insert step 2. So I'll pull out my step 1, And again, since this is an older unit, all I'm going to do is put on this view pack that I have that already has that special ink on there. Put my rubber band around it to hold it in place. Pull this little thing down to make it so that you can put a view in and push it down. Now it says step 2, brew. Do I want it strong? And what size, which is a 4-ounce cup. It does that automatically. I'll hit the button and you can see it's going to make my pumpkin spice latte. And we'll just let this finish and then we'll finish up the video for you. Now, if you want to have maybe a little bit stronger cup of coffee, you can, instead of hitting step 2, you could actually just say, I'm done, I just wanted a froth, and then choose the regular coffee button so that you can have bigger than 4 ounces. But now I have my pumpkin spice latte with my froth on the top. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about is how you can actually brew your own ground coffee. And unfortunately, you know, a lot of people do like to use these cups here. But the problem is you're not going to be able to use this in this machine. They haven't come out with one so you can use your own coffee. But I found a workaround. And it's the same thing that we had before. Simply take the top off of one of your cups and simply hot glue it onto the top of one of these things here. Then all you have to do is take your top off, add your cup of coffee, go ahead and put it in the machine just like a view cup, and you're going to get that option right there so that you can brew your coffee. Very simple. Now, it may not be the prettiest workaround, but if you happen to have some ground coffee sitting around your house, you have a way that you can actually still use that. Now, the only problem is you have to be careful about the one you use, because some of these you're going to see have like these little pieces on the bottom, and when I go to put it in, it actually doesn't drop in all the way. So you have to get the right ones. And the ones that I found that actually work are these EcoFill ones at Bed Bath & Beyond. You get 4 of them actually for $10. So that's our video for today, guys. Hopefully you've learned a little something. If you were considering buying the 2.0, but maybe you were reading the reviews online and not liking the fact that you can't use older K-Cups that were sitting around the house, now you've got a great way to do it. If you want to be able to use your own My K-Cup, make your own ground coffee, I've showed you a way to do that. I've showed you a great place to buy it at a cheap price, get a bunch of extra coffee. One thing I did forget to mention, when you register your machine with Keurig, they will give you a buy 2, get 2 coupon that you can use to order it. So now you can get 4 24-count boxes from them online. I think it'll cost you like $26. You basically get 48 additional free cups of coffee. So it's another incentive. You can pay $149 for the unit from Costco, get 48 cups of coffee from them, plus your 4 view pack, craft packs, and then get 48 boxes free from Keurig.com. So it becomes a great deal. Personally, we love this machine. I love the fact that they have combined the original Keurig machine with the View machine, because I love the features in the View machine. They've given you a great unit. They've made it much easier to use. The menu buttons are much easier to use. And overall, we are extremely happy with it. So if you like the video, do me a favor, hit the like button on the bottom. Don't forget to subscribe to Wonder Whoamom's channel. And as she always closes every video, until next time, Wonder Whoamom thinks you're super.